Formaji YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vaur engage ho jn our video ko ntk decken winter's secret. The wind cut through the empty street like a blade. Snow pressed against my boots, soft but heavy. Each step echoed too loudly in the silent town. The streetlights flickered, casting broken shadows on the ice. My breath formed white clouds that vanished too quickly. The cold crept through my gloves and settled into my bones. I smelled metal in the air, sharp and unfamiliar. The houses stood frozen, windows dark and watching. A sudden crack came from behind me. I stopped moving. The sound repeated, closer this time. My heart struck against my ribs. The snow near the alley shifted. Something had disturbed its smooth surface. I felt the cold tighten around my neck. The air grew heavier, harder to breathe. A faint whisper brushed past my ear. The voice carried no warmth. My skin prickled beneath my coat. I turned slowly toward the alley. Darkness pulled between the walls. The smell of metal grew stronger. The ground beneath the snow looked uneven. I knelt and brushed the snow aside. My fingers touched something solid. It was not stone. It was not ice. The cold suddenly felt alive. The cold pressed back against my fingers. It reacted to my touch with a slow resistance. I pulled my hand away, breath shaking. The surface beneath the snow seemed to shift again. A low sound vibrated through the ground. It felt more like a warning than a noise. The alley walls narrowed in my vision. Ice cracked along the bricks like spreading veins. My heartbeat filled my ears. The wind stopped without warning. Silence dropped over the street. Even my breath sounded wrong. Too loud, too sharp. I stood and stepped back. The snow where I knelt sank inward. A shallow shape revealed itself. Long, uneven, not natural. The metal smell thickened. It coated the back of my throat. My stomach tightened. The streetlight above the alley flickered again. This time it stayed dark. Only the distant glow of the town remained. The shadows deepened. They stretched toward me. My boots slid as I tried to move away. Ice grabbed the soles. The ground pulsed beneath the snow. Once, twice. The vibration traveled up my legs. I tasted cold air and fear. The houses around me seemed closer now. Their walls leaned inward. Their windows reflected nothing. A scraping sound came from the alley. Slow, deliberate. Something dragged itself across frozen ground. My shoulders stiffened. I told myself it was ice shifting. I told myself winter made strange sounds. The scraping continued. Closer. The snow at the alley mouth cracked open. A dark line formed across the white surface. It widened. Steam rose from the opening. Warmth met the freezing air. The clash created a sharp hiss. My skin burned with cold. The smell changed. Metal mixed with damp earth. I took another step back. My heel struck something solid. I stumbled and nearly fell. I turned to see what stopped me. Another shape lay buried in the snow. Smaller, more defined. I brushed snow away with shaking hands. Fabric appeared beneath the frost. A sleeve, frozen stiff. My chest tightened. The street felt suddenly unfamiliar. Like a place that rejected me. The scraping sound stopped. Silence returned. Heavier than before. I felt watched. Not from one direction. From everywhere. The cold pressed against my spine. It crawled beneath my coat. A faint reflection shimmered in the alley darkness. Not light. Movement. The ground near the opening rose slightly. Then sank. As if something beneath it breathed. My legs trembled. I forced myself to stand still. The air vibrated again. A deep sound rolled through the street. It passed through my chest. Through my teeth. The frozen sleeve beside me cracked. Ice splintered along the fabric. The snow around it collapsed inward, revealing more beneath. I looked away. My eyes burned. The alley exhaled a rush of air. Warm. Wrong. It carried a scent of rust and soil. My breath caught. The ground shifted beneath my feet. A long fracture spread across the street. Snow fell into the dark line. The vibration grew stronger. I could feel it counting time. Slow. Steady. The houses creaked. Their roofs shed sheets of ice. Glass cracked somewhere nearby. The alley darkness moved forward. Not as a shape, as an absence. It swallowed the weak light. My shadow vanished. The cold no longer felt empty. It pressed with intent. I stepped back again. There was nowhere left to go. The street behind me ended in white fog. Sound disappeared into it. The vibration reached my feet once more. The ground lifted slightly. The snow around the alley